So gradually, all the year reviews are over, a little calm has returned, and we're already looking very cautiously toward 2025. If you want to know which event shook the world in March 1403, you can of course consult Wikipedia or a history book of your choice. Or you're playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, because this event plays a major role in it. We won't give any spoilers, but here's what we can share. In the sequel to the realistic medieval role-playing game, you'll once again take on the role of Good Henry, bodyguard to his friend Hans Capon, and lead a quiet life. Until now. We don't want to spoil the story, but it's one of the main attractions of the game. Accordingly, large is the amount of text the makers promise, 2.2 million words, which is enough for about 100 film scripts or 25 novels. So there's a lot to hear and read, and likely including descriptions and in-game documents that aren't voiced. Good news for the Nouveau critics, though. Warhorse wants to dispense with controversial copy protection and DRM measures, even if that means there probably won't be a preload. This will be the biggest time jump in the Kingdom Come series. After the brilliant 1800, it goes back 1683 years to the Roman Empire. Ubisoft is still holding back with information and pictures about Anno 1-17 Pax Romana, but we've already gleaned a few facts through meticulous artwork analysis. It's certain that the game world will once again be divided. Latium and Albion are two twin provinces. The pictures show neatly laid out Roman buildings in Latium, while Albion looks more chaotic, with turnip-like structures. Why is that? Because Albion represents earthly Britain, and the British still drive on the wrong side of the road. What's also new is the freedom of choice when leveling up your population. The first level in Albion is the Vaders, and if you push them up a level, you can either Romanize them or let them follow the Celtic tradition. As a result, Vadas become either smiths in the Celtic tradition or mercators in the Roman way, each with their own demands, like the kind of clothes they wear. Now, let's talk about something that's been anticipated for years. Gothic. The Spanish studio Alchemia is taking on the difficult task of remaking this beloved game with its rough edges, transferring it to the next-gen consoles without losing its charm. I've already played a version of the prologue specially built for the press. The world looks fantastic. The forest within the magical barrier is alive with animal sounds, and even the angry scavengers. It's not Gothic at first glance, but between the trees, you can already sense the familiar feeling of the Valley of Mines. One of the things Alchemia wants to emphasize is the progress and development of the Nameless One. Like back over 23 years ago, when our hero stumbled over his own feet with almost every step, he later gains the skill to take down opponents with cool pirouettes. Much of this feels like the original. If you love building games, you might want to check out Pioneers of Pagonia. The game reminds me of The Settlers. Since its early access in late 2023, new elements like the mining update have been added, introducing a new geologist for mining iron, coal, nickel, gold, and silver. The update also brought a new enemy faction, the Scavs, to the otherwise peaceful islands. But the great thing here is that the game lets you switch off the enemies for a more peaceful experience if that's what you want. If you're feeling a bit too stressed, no worries, the game adapts to your playstyle. Next up, Civilization 7. This entry promises to throw some established game concepts overboard and change them drastically. Now, you can change your civilization multiple times throughout a single game. Start with the Egyptians in antiquity, and when you transition to the Age of Discovery, you can take on the Indians, the Volok, or the Shuni. Each civilization offers a different experience, and as you move through epochs, your cities will evolve, just like in real history. Path of Exile 2 also went into early access in December and is already making a great impression. There are varied classes, huge skill trees, and a focus on endgame content, which is rare in most early access games. The heart of the endgame is the Atlas map, an infinitely expandable world full of corruption, bosses, and new areas. But if you fail, you can always try a different path. Fans of Heroes 3 have a lot to look forward to with Olden Era. The new game could be exactly what they've been wanting since the glory days of Heroes 3. The team is not just remaking the game, but modernizing and expanding it with a deeper magic system, upgrade options for troops, and of course, beautifully tactical round battles. Hades 2 is another game to keep an eye on. Since May 2024, it has been in early access, and it's already getting fantastic reviews. The action-packed battles, the exploration of the underworld, and the use of magic powers from various Greek gods make it a game with immense depth. If you die, you can always pick up more experience and skills and try again. Then there's Manor Lords, another early access title. While it's still not finished, there's plenty of potential here. You get to build villages, manage a sophisticated economy, and of course, send your villagers into battle. Although the AI still has a few kinks to work out, it's clear that the game is shaping up to be a lot of fun. And speaking of big shoes to fill, Judas, the new game from Ken Levine and his new studio Ghost Story Games, looks suspiciously like BioShock. The level design, enemy design, and weapons scream BioShock, but with a space station setting instead of Rapture. The goal? To escape the space station and maybe do a bit of betraying along the way. Now, imagine Doom meets the Dark Ages. Doom the Dark Ages isn't about space marines fighting demons, but instead a techno-Middle Ages world where the Slayer fights against hellish forces to save a kingdom. And yes, there will be tons of demon-slaying action with cool weapons, music, and epic fights against demons as big as skyscrapers. Then we have Avowed, a unique RPG where the protagonist is a mushroom-headed hero plagued by divine blood and a deadly blood frenzy. As crazy as it sounds, it takes you on an epic quest through a huge game world with loads of quests and fun combat, although some fights might lack a bit of pressure for now. We don't know if the teams at Warhorse and Ubisoft somehow coordinated to shift the battle for gamers' attention between Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Assassin's Creed. Shadows from autumn 2023 to February 2024, but it's definitely good for our hit list. However, it creates a tough situation for us players, who will have to decide which title to invest our time and money in. Unfazed by such dilemmas, Shadow's heroes, Jasky the Samurai and Nawe the Ninja, are gearing up for another assassin adventure to take down an evil daimyo. The strong Jasky will face him head-on, while Nawe prefers a stealthier approach, using tools like a grappling hook or even reed snorkeling. You'll be free to choose which approach to take, with the exception of a few story missions. The choice of character and strategy is entirely up to you, and you can switch between them at any time. This kind of flexibility was last seen in Assassin's Creed Syndicate back in 2015. We're eager to see if Shadows will be a massive game like Odyssey or Valhalla, or if Ubisoft will opt for a more compact but dense experience, similar to Mirage. Monster Hunter Wilds is another big contender, releasing at the end of February. As always, you'll hunt monsters, but this time with a story-rich experience. The game focuses on mastering 14 weapons, crafting items, and exploring a huge open world with dynamic weather effects and animal behaviors. Finally, Little Nightmares was a surprise hit in 2018, a small gem from Sweden that many didn't see coming. Its sequel, Little Nightmares 2, followed in 2021, also under the Bandai Namco banner. However, the original development team, Tarsier Studios, has since become part of the Embracer Group. Currently, they are working on a new game for THQ Nordic called Reanimal, which, amusingly, could easily be mistaken for Little Nightmares 3. That title, however, is now in development by Supermassive Games, as Tarsier has transferred not just the publishing, but the trademark rights of the Little Nightmares series to Bandai Namco. So now, Tarsier and Supermassive are each working on their own new adventure, where children must escape from nightmarish worlds. While Little Nightmares 3 promises to stay true to the dark atmosphere of its predecessors, Reanimal takes it a step further with moments that could be described as downright repulsive. It'll be interesting to see which game ends up being the fan favorite, the official Little Nightmares 3 or the unofficial Reanimal. Both seem set to deliver their own brand of nightmarish experiences, hopefully in the best way possible. So those are just a few of the games that are set to make 2025 a massive year for gaming. And yes, these aren't all the blockbusters coming our way. Thanks for watching.